There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to SNKronize. And, oh, dang, we've got 5x5. Are we talking about In-N-Out?
That sounds delicious.
What's the biggest In-N-Out burger you've ever gotten?
6x6 as one single burger.
Really?
Yeah, in terms of a single burger. I've definitely eaten more than that.
Right.
But
how do you eat a 6x6?
Very carefully.
Okay.
It's kind of like almost sculpting. You have to scrape at parts
right,
of it.
yeah.
But yeah, you're not allowed to get them anymore. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 4x4 is the actual maximum they will serve you.
Dang.
Which, of course, is funny because you just look at them and be like, oh, really? Well, then I will take 2 3x3s. Thank you.
And then you just make it yourself.
And
right?
they just have to hold that, yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is they probably can't do it because it's like legal or messy or something.
My guess it's actually too many of the meme videos and too much food was going wasted where people would order like a 20x20 and just carry it in the box.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Okay,
I think that's actually more what it is rather than actually health concerns.
Right. Makes sense. So, yeah. So, obviously, Kitty's not here. She's in Hawaii right now. So, she's having a grand old time out there, right?
Which is why the sea turtles post is there. Which, can we just go ahead and share that and just get that knocked out?
No
So,
problem.
Kitty wanted to share this with everyone. This is a SNKronize exclusive first look at something Kitty wanted to share with all of us.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, we got first person POV swimming with the turts. Look at the little thing.
God, sea turtles are awesome, dude. Oh, Nathan's looking at the sea turtle, dude. Nathan's looking at it.
Look at it.
Sea turtles are awesome, dude. Sea turtles are literally the best, dude. Every time when I came back from Hawaii the first time, I was like, dude, sea turtles are like my new favorite animal, dude. Okay, back to the shore.
But yeah, there might be more videos incoming, but that's like the big one that I know for sure that we can share right now. And oh my god, they're so cute. And so yeah, so she went on a family trip. And she's having a grand old time, which I'm sure, you know, if you follow her on Twitter, you've seen some of her other photos and stuff. But yeah, she wanted to share that with everybody because she can't be here on the show, but she wanted to, you know, say hi and send love and show us cool things. And that's totally fair.
It's hard to go wrong with sea turtles, honestly. So, okay.
So I guess on to other SNK-ish.
Oh, yeah,
news.
for sure.
You know what? Let's talk about more Pacific Islands.
More Pacific Island? What?
Yeah, like Japan.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sure. Okay.
How did you not?
Those are Pacific Islands. I've always think more like Philippines and, you know.
Islands that are in the Pacific for 100.
I guess. Okay.
So, as we talked about last week, there was the pop-up shop in Harajuku, which I think was just called Hareru. At I can't remember the name of the building it's in or whatever, but it's down in the Harajuku Fashion District. And our good friend Doc Fugu,
who's now our unofficial Japanese correspondent.
our courier.
Yeah, correspondent.
I hit him up. I was like, "Hey, man, I don't know who else I can ask, so I'm sorry, but I'm asking you. Is there any chance you're going to be in Harajuku anytime soon?" And I sent him the link. He's like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll go down there sometime in the next few days. You know, I'll make a family trip out of it. You know, let's go."
Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, take pictures and we can share them on the show and be like really cool for all of us that can't be over there.
Right.
He's like, got you. So here's
it's crazy because like, I mean, even when we were in Japan, I mean, when I was hanging around with Corey that one time, like going to Harajuku was just like, oh, just a jaunt around the corner. You know, it's so easy to go places. So it's like here in LA, it's like every time we feel like we want to go places, like, okay, get in the car, let's drive, and here's traffic and stuff. So, oh man.
So the Harajuku shop, I believe, opened like last Thursday, something like that. And Harajuku over the weekend can get really, really busy. So I was really fortunate. He decided to go like in the morning. So it was less busy.
Right.
That being said, there was still actually a lot of shit was already sold out. But
Dang. Okay.
so this is the La Forêt, I believe, something like that, over in Harajuku. I remember passing by this building, but we didn't go in. By the way, if you look over on the left, it looks like the Holy Hand Grenade. I'm just saying.
Where? Which one? Oh, this thing here. What's the Holy Hand Grenade from again?
Monty Python.
Oh God, dang, yeah.
Which also, if you played Worms, they had the Holy Hand Grenade that was a parody of it.
Okay.
That's literally what it looked like.
Oh man. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Okay.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the
La Forêt.
museum. Yep. Okay.
And so this is like kind of a mini mall kind of thing too. I don't know all the details. But, so this is the outside of it, and then he's like, hum-da-dum, I'm going in, and this is the front of the shop. And it's just like little, like, I don't know, like art installation, like you've got cool stuff that fits their theming, and you just do it. And so they have their Neo Geo collection, but it's also a lot of like synth pop, vaporwave 80s style. And I kind of would just go shopping there anyway. This place is kind of looking rad.
Dang. Okay.
But yeah, we've got a good amount of pictures. Not like an obscene amount, but plenty for you to get like a feel of this place.
And then here's this. What is this here?
So that's literally like the front entrance and showing off like the bag you can buy, some of the little bits.
And there's Neo Geo.
Little Neo Geo badge.
Yeah.
You know, we got the QR code there for the store itself.
Dang. Okay.
And as we go further in, they set up fucking 2 candy cabs with all the cool 80s merch all over it.
That's so cool.
Dude, some of the Neo Geo
pin culture thing,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, so...
Yeah, it lines up very well with the ETA bag culture.
Yeah.
By the way, look at the reflection of Bub.
He's just chilling here. Yeah.
But yeah, like all
cool
these 80s pins are so rad.
Yeah, and it's also cool that, you know, these are the authentic ABCD, you know, button cabs here, so...
Yeah, that actually might even be like Puzzle Bobble 4 in there.
Boop, 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 boop.
But then right there, you'll see our good friend, the Neo Mini Crane game.
Oh, this over here.
Yeah, which I've definitely tried to buy one, and it's just, they're really hard to come by when they're in any working order, especially in the States. But as we move... Oh yeah, and by the way, I love the indoor skateboard arcade stool.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
It's rad. But yeah, as we move on, here's the Neo Mini.
Yeah, here's
which so if you saw last time, we they had 3 different items. Like there's the can badges, which is just the normal little like aluminum circular kind of thing. But these are the acrylic Velcro badges. It was the only way to get them. You can't just buy them, so you had to like play the Crane game.
What's up, King Retro Game Warrior? Whoa, they highlight the first time chat really
loudly
now.
Hell yeah.
Hello, yes,
Welcome.
SNK. If SNK is your life, you're in the right place. So, oh man.
But apparently the Crane game is actually really well calibrated. It's not too much of a nightmare.
Oh,
so if you
okay,
actually if you somehow are in Japan as you're watching this, and you want to make your way over there, apparently the Crane game isn't terribly hard to win.
Oh,
so if you just got a couple coins, you'll be good to go.
Cool.
Here is
crap.
the display of all the 80s stuff, including the
Right,
Neo Geo stuff.
So here's just like the things that they have up here.
Yeah. I love those that are actually just like old clothing price tag things, like materials and stuff. But yeah, some of these are so cool.
Dang, look at this stuff.
But as we get to the next line, oh yeah, the like Miami Vice parody.
Oh yeah.
As we get to the next row, we get to the Neo Geo stuff.
So here's more stuff, and boom!
And look at that empty row.
Which one's the empty row?
That right there was where the Neo Geo badge was.
Oh,
that one's sold out already.
Jesus!
And then if you look over on the far left is the O2 Shermie, which is almost sold out. And then everyone else
said the Neo Geo badge was the one that I would have wanted the most. Yeah.
Well, so this is a small pop-up shop, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't even know if it's officially endorsed. I don't know for sure. Harajuku Fashion is kind of in that gray area anyway. They just do what they want, but...
Because Japan does that a little bit more than other countries.
Yeah,
right?
they don't crucify people the way we do over like copyright and IP.
Right.
Like it's still like don't be a dick, but they're not gonna like go Disney on you. But
unless it's something probably particularly
yeah,
big,
like
right?
I mean, if you're trying to make your own Dragon Ball anime or a video game and then sell it for money, you know,
yeah,
someone's gonna come down on you.
I mean that's how like a lot of manga artists get start, right? They do fan fiction of a lot of stuff, right? So there you go.
Yeah, so I mean, a little bit of trivia. So the word for it is doujinshi.
Yeah.
As an American, most people who hear doujinshi or doujins for short, we think of the porn ones.
Right, yeah,
But that's not true. It's
there's
any
a whole scope of it.
It's basically any independent comics. And like literally like 70% of doujins are fan art. Like something ridiculous.
Yeah. But the thing about it is the reason why it's so synonymous with porn, because if I'm not mistaken, that's how a lot of artists get their start, because they draw that. It's more popular, more people notice them.
Well, and it goes both ways too. That for a lot of them, it's their side hustle. Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, has actually drawn his own like porn doujins.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, like it's actually a really common side hustle.
Yeah. No, I mean that's absolutely true. Necromancy Black, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what do they say? If there's ever a format war, it's the one that porn adopts that wins.
Yeah. It has happened multiple times.
I mean, they adopted Blu-ray. That's why Blu-ray won.
Won over HD DVDs, and it's why VHS won over Betamax.
Beta, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's just such a common thing. Oh, dang, what's this?
So that's just one of their like displays, which also I think has some of their security cameras. And some other cameras to other stores. I don't know exactly.
It almost feels like
Actually, it does look like the MVCI Infinity logo.
You're right, it does. Actually, looks almost just like it.
Yeah.
But
Oh
it
no,
almost
totally.
kind of reminds me of like some sort of like Among Us security feed where you can like stare at everybody in here. Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's bullshit. And even American or Western webcomic artists do it a lot too.
Yeah.
It's not just that one. There are a couple. One of my favorite webcomics, he just straight quit making comics and then just went off and started doing NSFW work and seemed to be happier with it and was surviving better as well.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is what we managed to get.
Oh,
I'm
he got
super
this for you.
stoked.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I got the Mary badge in the bag, and Kitty took the Mars People badge and the
of course.
almost sold out Shermie badge.
Right, but you guys didn't get the Neo Geo badge because it's already gone.
Nah, and we didn't get any of the acrylic ones because the thing is also you can't buy them. So he would have had to like have a bunch of coins on hand to put in the machine, and then tried to hunt down the one he wanted and just like. It starts becoming way more trouble than it's worth. So I'm just going to keep an eye on resellers in Japan and hope for the best. But I got the fucking bag and I got the badge. I'm happy.
Oh, this is the last one. This is the last picture.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. I was like, why can't I get the next?
It's a tote bag.
Yeah, it's a tote bag. So
Which
that's
also
really
I think has like it's an extra fabric strip or maybe Velcro strip on the back that you can attach stuff to.
Right, yeah. Makes sense.
Like, I'm going to fucking use it outside. This shit's getting, like, mounted.
Right.
Because I really just love the stylized picture in general. Like, I love the, like, the neon look to it, but also just giving her shutter shades and everything. Like, I'm here for it.
You need to pay Auric to make this, dude.
While I am down, and I'm very much considering it, I would also hit up the artist who did it, which I believe is the
okay, so the
Sugoi Wotakoi, the one who shared the post.
You guys know. Okay,
I'm pretty
gotcha,
sure
gotcha.
that's the one who did most of the line, if not the whole line. So I would actually hit them up for their original like vectors for it. Like, hey, I got a guy who can make a neon sign. I get your vectors and actually make it. And I hope they'd be like, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Dude. I bet you they would love to see it as an actual neon sign.
Yeah,
sick.
I really should ping them. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's too good to pass up.
Oh man. And you know he might enjoy it as a project anyway. I know he's busy doing a lot of stuff, but still.
But it's also one of those like that's one he could literally show like internationally and like have the Japanese side go like, oh shit, someone actually made that.
Yeah.
The downside is there's a good chance he'd be like, can you make another one and send it to me?
Oh man.
All right, I'll keep everyone posted how that process goes. It's not gonna be cheap, but god damn it sounds fucking cool. Yeah, and then no, it was just the last thing I sent you.
I was looking for this.
Oh,
right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that.
We don't have to do it right now.
Yeah, but didn't have that ready. Yeah.
I was just looking for it. So.
Because I think more importantly, before we look at that, is we talk about Rick's post about Combo Breaker. Because this was actually a kind of a big surprise.
Okay.
And a pleasant one, but it's going to cause some amusing havoc. And I think I said it from SNKronize, actually. So just 2 down.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's the one. Per Rick, the Hado.
The man who runs Combo Breaker in Evo
the
now.
head honcho himself.
Yeah.
KOF 15 update for Combo Breaker 2022.
Hang on a second. Let me get it on the screen here. Yoink.
Due to our understanding of the scale of this month's balance patch, and our desire to ensure players can practice effectively until the moment the tournament begins, both the patch and Team Southtown will be tournament legal.
Yeah, the language on that.
There's a lot to read between the lines on that.
Makes it sound like that this patch is like almost a different game kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, so let's unpack it from like easiest to least easy. Okay. Team Southtown's playable.
Yeah.
Which I think is like one of the closest we've ever had of release of a DLC character to major legal. Because this is like a week and a half.
Right.
So that's kind of wild. But that's also going to mean there's going to be some fun upsets of like, oops, you didn't know what Yamazaki got this time. And yep, the goose will be loose.
Yeah.
And Billy could shake every's up because
he's a good zoner. If he's a good zoner too, right?
But Billy fluctuates so much, but he's either a meta breaker or he's irrelevant. Like it's very rarely in between the two. And he was viable in 14, so what's probably gonna happen is he's gonna get a couple of buffs that are gonna be terrifying.
And one of the cool things that is implied by this tweet too is that Rick and SNK just must have talked to each other, and like that's really cool on SNK's part to just be like, hey, let's discuss how we want to do this.
So let's work a little backwards from there. Is that because we our predictions before, at least mine, because I'm a bastard, was that the balance patch would be legal and the characters weren't because it is way too hard to control that. Right. Because you can't downgrade. And you can't expect players to go a week without playing the game so they don't get used to the balance.
Right.
So that's the easiest course as it is. But yeah, that opening language of our understanding of the scale of the patch, like, ooh boy.
There might also be some impetus from SNK to want those Southtown characters to be shown off. Because, you know, they might actually be just like, I mean, it's fucking Geese and Yamazaki and Billy. And I think they probably on a big stage like this really want people to use those characters.
And then let's be really honest here. Probably anyone that's making top 16 already knows how to play those 3 characters.
Yeah. The reason why it doesn't feel as bad for me, like, oh my god, we have to get used to these. Oh, well, because KOF has always been that kind of game where it's just like, you know, if you know KOF, you will be better than the people. You're not going to get hit by too many crazy shenanigans. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, there's legacy carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like people who are going to do well in this game are probably going to do well either way, with or without, you know, Geese, Billy, whatever.
Exactly.
There might be like 1 or 2 upsets. There might be 1 or 2 things like, oh, by the way, you know, it's only a week and a half, so you know what? I will save that shit for Nationals. And someone's going to have a really sick Geese setup or something.
Yeah, I mean, what if it's the other way around? The balance patch is so small. Yeah, I mean, when you say due to our understanding of the scale of this month's balance patch, it can sound both ways, but...
Until it says practice effectively.
Yeah, practice effectively, and not only that, but even if it wasn't that much of a change, I just don't feel like he would say it that way. Like, the language doesn't feel like...
If it was a tiny patch, he'd probably be like, just so you know, it's legal. But he's like...
Due to the scale of it.
Bro.
Yeah, and our desire to ensure players can practice effectively. Because if it was a small patch, what the hell would people need to practice effectively for? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it would actually be cool seeing hidden tech at Combo Breaker because we haven't had that kind of shit happen in a long time.
15 plus years, practically.
The only scary part is that if we do end up with a Tanya situation, that they just messed up and like there's a glitch with Yamazaki. Suddenly his arm whip is unblockable, you know?
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, the thing is that fortunately, in the age of the internet, all it takes is one person to find it for it to mean that 20 people found it, and one of those motherfuckers is going to share it.
Yeah, and then everybody knows it, and then before the tournament,
it'll be banned before the tournament even starts. Like, because it's way easier to retroactively, like, because Combo Breakers bless you a lot. Combo Breaker starts.
I can't sneeze one time. I sneeze 4 times.
Combo Breaker starts on Friday, correct? Okay. It's way easier to ban Yamazaki Thursday night than it is to say Southtown's viable Thursday night.
Right. And remember EVO. Remember the TAC Infinites were found like literally a week before EVO in Marvel. Remember that?
It was a couple of weeks.
Was it a couple of weeks?
But it was just the fact that no one thought it was practical.
Right. And the other thing too is like everyone was like, Infinites? It's Marvel, baby!
Yeah,
so,
it's
like,
fucking Marvel.
Nobody cared. Yeah. So yeah, we were all
I mean, shit, we went up until the last patch with Athena having an Infinite and nobody cared.
Yeah.
In all fairness.
Right. Athena wasn't going to be beating you because of the Infinite. She was going to be beating you for a lot of other reasons.
Yeah, I mean, like, basically what it came down to is what is she doing with that Infinite that some of the top 5 aren't doing without it?
Right. So I just want to make sure I answer Duncan's question here. Of course, it's DK Unit, but on our stream, he's Duncan. Duncan!
Boom shakalaka!
MKX, Tanya was released as DLC maybe 2 weeks before CEO or so. It was
I think that was about right. Yeah.
And
it was at the buzzer kind of thing.
Yeah, and she was prohibitively broken, basically. And CEO top 8 was like 5 out of the 8 people were using Tanya. And this was when CEO was like 2 weeks before EVO. And the story is that Ed Boon was there. And when he saw top 8 was all Tanya and how angry like everyone was looking and pissed, like someone actually said they saw him like get up with his phone and just like started calling someone. And then suddenly there was a Tanya nerf patch right before, like almost a few days after that, to make sure that Tanya wouldn't dominate EVO and make MKX look bad, basically. So right now, Tanya is like the poster child story of what happens when a broken character comes out right before a major. So
yeah, and how quickly you can turn it around and still like mitigate some of it, because we've had a few characters that are broken to that level, and only a few games like did they even feel like, oh, it needs to be proven. Like, how long did it take before people were like, yeah, okay, Kokonoe really is broken?
Yeah,
it took a while. They let it rock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the whole thing, is that fighting games in general don't like banning things, right? Because we always like quick reactions to banning.
Wow, that is really on topic. Fucking lab coat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so it's really funny because I remember I always told the story, like back in Alpha 3 days when the game first came out, X Dawson was killing everybody. And one person on AGSF2 was like, we should ban this character because this character's so broken. Even people who don't use Dawson were saying, this character's so busted, right? Needless to say, that guy was an idiot, right? Yeah, and his name was James Chen. And yeah, since then I've learned. But I really did want that character banned. Yeah. But, you know, it's, again, the reason why I learned is because X Dawson's not even the best character in that game. Like, we didn't know what was going on yet in that game. So,
like not counting, like, obviously bosses don't get played kind of thing.
Yeah.
The last time I actually personally called for and agreed with a character ban was Meta Knight in Brawl, which did eventually happen.
Right, yeah.
But then, you know, Smash 4 came out, whatever.
Right.
But, honestly, Meta Knight in Brawl is actually, like, a ban.
But that's kind of one of the reasons why the fighting game community is really bad about, really wary about banning characters, is because a lot of the times it doesn't end up as bad as it actually felt at first, right?
Dude, I mean, in fact, we're kind of the other way around half the time. You remember Vanilla Marvel, it launched with a 1.3 million health Sentinel, and when they dropped him down to 900, we thought that was overkill.
Yeah.
And to a large degree, we still do.
Yeah. It was. It's absolutely a bad reaction. I mean, he maybe shouldn't have been 1.3, but like 900.
But I mean, look, as a She-Hulk main, why was she like 1.15? And then Sentinel had to be a 900K.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
bring him up to 1.1.
They definitely turned Sentinel into the Fox cartoon. Drop the lamppost on him, and Sentinel just explodes.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, and it's super funny too, because like outside of X Factor, he got buffed in Ultimate, and he's still just kind of okay.
Yeah. He's good though. He's still good.
Like
I mean, if you're Ray.
Yeah, know. I mean it's vanilla. You had X Factor was dumb as shit in that game, and you had the DHC glitch.
Yeah.
Those are the only reasons he was viable.
And yeah, so I mean, the fighting game community is usually pretty persistent with those kind of things. I mean, Lab Coat is kind of an interesting situation because Lab Coat, that debuff actually should not have lasted forever. Like, it's like literally you debuff the character by 21% and it's just there forever. Even like, after characters die.
Like, and it's like their damage output is how it works. So you just deal less damage.
She has a command throw that's reactable, but it's still,
that's an entirely other conversation.
Right, yeah, exactly. But yes, it nerfs your damage by 21%, and I think might even buff her damage a little bit. I'm not sure.
Does it stack or anything?
I don't think it stacks, but it never goes away.
Okay, and can you put it on all three characters?
Yes.
Never goes away.
Never goes away.
And like literally somebody thought that was okay.
Yes. And that is the reason why everyone wanted Lab Coat banned, because it just changes the way that you play the game all of a sudden. Like,
well, it's because everything just became a stall game.
Right.
Like, I mean, like, just on paper, that sounds like everything's going to time out now. And that game has longer than Marvel seconds.
Dude, Texas Showdown, top 8, I think, was like 7 out of 8 were playing Lab Coat, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you know how there's
like, why wouldn't you?
That new results format that everybody shows every time, where the winner is like 1/3 of this page on the left and it has the other players on the side. It was just Lab Coat, 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 Lab Coat for Texas Showdown. Oh, it buffs her specials by 21% and can be comboed into. Yeah, there you go. So... yeah, so that's the reason why she's like that one.
Yeah, isn't that like, I mean, just that part right there, isn't that like just about as good as sparking?
Oh, probably, yeah. Depending on which strength of sparking you're doing.
Yeah.
However, interestingly enough, they announced that they're nerfing that. So they actually announced that they're nerfing.
Now the question is, when does that nerf hit? Because she's been announced to be viable at Combo Breaker.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, maybe Rick has talked to Bandai Namco and knows it'll be out by then.
That or they decided, like, we need to see just how bad it is one more time, or something. But I mean, this is not my stable. All right, me and Dragon Ball FighterZ are not friends.
Right,
I'm not a fan of that game.
Yeah.
As I'm pretty sure is well established at this point. Pretty sure.
But needless to say, you know, we've let things rock, and I really, honestly, unless we find some stupid infinite bug where Gato gained some random infinite because they tweaked a value and they didn't realize what it did. They thought it was a nerf, but then, oh my god, like outside.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to there being at least one nerf in the patch notes that turns into a buff by mistake. It's gonna be
happens all the time, dude.
It's gonna be one.
Yeah, I would expect. I don't expect the results to be vastly different.
Yeah, no, like, you know, a lot of the usual suspects are going to place high. But, you know, there's probably going to be a few surprises, and what I'm hoping for, and I'm just going to say it out loud, which might be a segue into the next conversation, but I want to see what happens when they buff Angel and nobody's ready for it, and, like, Silent Hooper takes, like, first or second.
Right.
Because he gets everything he needs.
Right.
You know, fucking like literally a top 8 is going to have Dechimo and Silent Hooper and like 2 other Angel players because she became middle tier.
Yeah, that's what Casella, that's what a lot of people have actually been saying, that Lab Coat just makes the long game even longer already. So that's another reason why to ban. So You know, God, don't tell that to Mike.
I still think Dino's criminally underrated.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he's the best character in the game. I'm not even saying he's the best grappler in the game. But I think he's criminally underrated.
Yeah.
Like, the toolkit he actually has really promotes a lot of play that may not be KOF. And I think that's still a little bit of a problem that a lot of players are having right now, is that some of the characters they're playing too much standard KOF with, and that's not what makes them work.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, I talk a lot about, like, Poison in Street Fighter V. I'll play her because she doesn't have to play Street Fighter V. She can play her own game.
Dude, Charlie, I mean, I'm hoping that they listen to that. It was one of the reasons I very rarely tag the actual company in my complaint post, but I think on that one I actually tagged them because I was like, nobody likes this input and we can't find a single benefit to this. So.
You know, and I mean, that's one of the things too, is that this balance patch, even if, like, the characters aren't adjusted much, a couple of system changes could be groundbreaking. Like able to run block instantly. If they change that, oh god.
Jesus.
If they actually take away universal health, that's going to change everything dramatically.
Yeah. And
they bring back KOF 11's forward roll wake up instead of only back, which is a terrible decision. Don't do it. I love KOF 11. Don't add that to this game.
I have heard that. I mean, a lot of the Strive players. You know, I was at the Series E thing this past weekend for a day, and I was talking to like Flash and a bunch of the guys there, and Hotashi, and honestly, they all just say that Strive just needs to stop, just do less damage.
Yeah.
Or just give everyone more health. You know, same kind of situation. But
so I don't think they should add startup to basic throws, but I think reverting it to 14's throw system, where on wake up you're not allowed to throw frame 1, that you'll actually get a standing heavy. Or that even just keep it frame 1, keep all that shit, but throws frame 1 lose to meaties rather than winning.
Right. I mean, it's interesting
because...
because...
probably going to be somewhere in the ballpark of what's going to happen.
I think there's only one game that I know of where one button throws had whiffs, which was... because almost every single one of them, they were instant throws, right? But then CVS 1 and CVS 2 had that.
CVS 1 and CVS 2 have that.
Because I always remember that was how you got Rolinto to say shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there might still be one other, and it was the same era.
Right. I don't actually.
Yeah, because Alpha 3 was 2-punch, right? Or even 3-punch for throws?
It was 2 punches. Yeah, it was 2 punches. Yeah. Yeah, Alpha 3 just had the command normal whips, right? So it's easier for command normals to give the throws more startup than the other one. But it was just interesting how they handled it in CVS2. It's just like, you hit the button, you're close enough to throw, start the throw animation, and then
if they were like backdashing, whoops,
then it's not there anymore. So,
which I guess starts, a little bit of a segue though, is what are we expecting and what are we hoping for? Like, I mean, I don't want to dig too deep in what we're hoping for because we don't play the whole cast. I can't tell you what Ryo needs. He needs help, but I don't know what it is.
I mean, like, from a system standpoint, I was actually talking to Gibby about this on my stream one time, and I was like, please tell SNK about these things. Please, please, please. So, obviously, you know what my number one complaint was going to be was the EXs.
Yeah, the input interpreter and buffering.
The plinking thing. And so, he's like, okay, I'll see if I
pass it along.
Talk to them about it. The reverse DP input is another big one in there.
The whole planet hates it.
Yeah. I mean, from UX standpoint, user experience standpoint, I really, really wish that when you reset training, that it did not turn off
your
reversal.
Recording.
Yeah, because you have them set to reversal, and then you reset, and then it's gone.
I've literally just built it into my muscle memory.
Dude, right? You have to. Yeah, you have to, which is really annoying. So,
there's a couple other UX things, like some of the button prompts or rearranging, the order certain things. There's a couple things that aren't mappable and even worse on PC.
Yeah.
Obviously, would love to see them improve the matchmaking and network stuff, but that's not part of a balance patch. But we're just talking about it,
right? Let's. I mean, that obviously that's something we wanted to talk about too. Is that the matchmaking? Because the thing about the scariest thing about this whole entire situation. Okay, context. The matchmaking is busted, right? It doesn't work. Whenever I play online, I fight the same guys over and over and over and over again. And I've even kind of opened the ranges of my connections. You know, I've even gone down to just accept bad connections and hope I just get better ones, you know. Because it happened in early Street Fighter V as well. I remember it was the same problem, that if you put it to like 4 or 5 only, you ran into the same guys. So you had to drop it to 3, and then you would get a huge variety, even people who were 4 and 5 that weren't showing up normally. And so, like, but even in this one, even when I drop it low, I'm still running into the same guys over and over and over and over again. So.
And like just trying to do general ranked match, you know, a lot of people have like region issues or something. And like we'll just be sitting there for like 10, 20 minutes looking for a match when they know people are playing.
Right. And so the thing, what I was trying to get to is the thing that makes this really scary is that they didn't do anything to Samurai Showdown, even though people were complaining about the online, the lobbies, the matchmaking, and they never did anything. Like, if I'm not mistaken, like they basically did nothing.
They literally did nothing. Yeah. And the thing is, I'm gonna be the shitty devil's advocate because I'm admitting this is not great, but 15 was in development and they decided to keep making 15 as good as they could and just abandon Sam Show. They don't have that excuse right now.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, we don't know that we have Sam Show 2 or KOF 16 in development or any shit like that.
Right.
As far as I know, the network team can go and work on it.
Yeah, I hope that they do, because right now, like DK or Dunkit is saying, you know, he's seeing people drop the game because of the matchmaking.
I mean, or at least it's one of the big ones on the list. Like, Slick Tricks just put out his post today saying that he's basically dropping KOF 15, and when any of his content creation moving forward is not going to be KOF centric and everything, because he is extremely dissatisfied.
Right. Yeah.
And that's reasonable.
Yeah, it's a frustrating situation. So that's something that, you know, they've got to address. Yeah. Like, they have got to, if this Southtown patch comes out and there's not like some crazy, like, we fix the matchmaking in there.
Yeah, improve network performance, something at the top.
Right. Or even if they say, we don't have the network improvements here, we're working on them, that patch will be dropping soon, we're doing our best. If they don't even put that out, you know a lot of people are just going to be like, all right, I'm done with this, right? Even if you can, like I said, I mean, we've started to learn now that for a lot of these game companies, this kind of communication is so much better, right? I mean, the fact that, you know, even Strive came out and was like, don't expect big balance changes this patch. That's not happening. We're letting it rock. It's going to come in May. That's the big patch changes, you know.
Yeah, or like that one was like August or some shit. Yeah.
No, because the big patch change hasn't come out yet.
That one. Even on launch they did that.
Yeah.
That's true, where they're like, this is a little tiny one, but in a month or 2 we'll give you a real balance patch.
Right.
But it's just little pokes to fix for the
Right. Exactly.
And like if they openly say, hey, we know shit sucks, we're working on it. Fucking A. All right.
Yeah.
But if you don't discuss it, then you're more likely to let people drift away.
Yeah. And honestly, they can't afford that. I mean, there's a lot of people playing the game. A lot of people really enjoy the game. But again, you know, say the line part, I'd be playing it if it had good netcode, right? I mean, it's just the way it is right now.
Well, let's be honest though. Like, part of it, as we're seeing right the fuck right now, is that part of the good netcode is a total package. Like, we got rollback. It's functional. It's great for most people. A lot of people are still having problems. And I don't know, but I can't address that. I can't speak to their problems.
Right.
But if I can't get a match, then the rollback netcode isn't enough.
Yeah. And you know what's kind of interesting too, because I'm actually, like, it doesn't affect it that much except for hit confirms and stuff like that. But, like, you know, just as an indication to people of the technical side of why rollback is so hard, is that KOF 15's rollback implementation doesn't kill audio that gets rolled back, right? So I have had matches where I've hit somebody when they have no life and they scream and die, but then they're blocking. And I don't see any hiccup. It looks smooth as hell, but you hear the and the guy's just blocking.
Yeah, and then you're just like looking in a mirror like, what are you standing up for?
Yeah. But these are the kind of issues that come with it, right?
Yeah,
So
I've definitely had hit confirms that definitely got me killed for exactly that reason.
Exactly.
And now, not trying to just throw shade, but it's like, I've seen that and worse in Street Fighter V.
Oh, Street Fighter V is like the worst, right? Yeah, like
so it's
that's
like,
just like
again, like the netcode, the rollback netcode is functional at the very worst.
Yeah.
But if I can't get a match,
right, Street Fighter V's rollback netcode, I still blame for the lack of engagement with that whole entire system, because people were like, "This is rollback, this is shit," you know, and so a lot of people didn't use it until we started actually seeing good rollback. I mean, I always tell the story of the Melty Blood guy. Like, one of the main Melty Blood guys was playing, or was it it was the Under Night and Birth guy was playing like Skullgirls or something like that. Like on his stream, he was like, "This is rollback netcode?" He was like,
holy shit.
I need to put rollback netcode into my games, you know? Like, it was literally like that. So.
I mean, honestly, no. Even KOF's betas helped with that, because it reminded everyone it was possible. Strive did a hell of a lot of the goodwill on that one.
Strive was the biggest hero for that.
And again, part of the problem is because all the other games that did rollback well weren't as widely played.
And they weren't Japanese either. Most of them were American.
Marvel Infinite.
Okay, Marvel Infinite, yeah.
Marvel Infinite's netcode was fantastic, especially like at the time, especially for being ahead of the curve for what Capcom had been doing otherwise.
Right, exactly.
Nobody wanted to play that fucking game except like me and 5 other people in the planet. That's a whole other discussion, but it didn't have the player base to prove it, especially because also, like, Japan doesn't play Marvel, really.
Oh, dude, Necromancy Black just said it.
Yeah,
dude.
there are pockets of people in Japan. Like, it's how we got Cyber Japan Agent,
but
shit
see,
like that.
I mean, right, MK11 had it, Killer Instinct had it for a very long time.
But let's talk about that real quick. These are Western developed games because the West has dog shit internet infrastructure. So we need
Herds
it.
had it.
Japanese
Punch Planet had it.
In Japan, their infrastructure is good, so they don't need as good of netcode to offset it.
But that's how you know rollback netcode is good, is because when the Strive beta came out, even all the Japanese players were like, wait a second.
Well, in all fairness, part of that was because they were willing to play with people from across the pond kind of thing. And so they're sitting there in Japan playing guys in South Korea, in China, and in America, and they're like, I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like, the players over there...
This is why America keeps bitching about it. Oh.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's going to be different experiences for a lot of different people, for sure. And you know, netcode is... it's computers. It's computers, which is why I have no faith in blockchain. But in any case, that's a whole nother story.
Well, neither does most of the planet at this very moment.
Yeah. Blockchain is super secure. No one's going to be able to hack it. As a person who programs... Anyways,
look, I mean, the fact is that before I moved in here, I was living with one of my other friends, and his internet sucked, and I was still able to play with Japan on a vaguely playable connection
with MVCI. Really? Dang. Okay.
And at a slightly worse connection, I was able to play with my friend in South Africa from here. It was rough,
right?
But it was no worse than playing Street Fighter 4 with a neighbor.
Right, yeah. And that's the thing, is like, you know, when you had a bad matchup in, I mean, CVS2 on the Xbox, you know, the
Penny
Xbox
Arcade.
original.
Penny Arcade still has the best comic.
Which was the one?
It was, I thought you were playing CVS on that Xbox Live thing. He's like, I am. I just threw a fireball. I'm going to go get myself a bowl of cereal, go back down, see if it hit.
Yep. I still remember when I wanted to punish Ken's uppercut, I had to hit crouching medium kick at the height of the DP. That was the only way I could punish it, dude. Oh, man. But yeah, like, that's the thing is, as we got distracted on this, you were saying netcode is a package, right?
Yeah.
Like, if your lobbies suck, we can't get to the good part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Net play.
Right, exactly. Oh, God.
What did Ringe say?
What did Ringe say here? Let's see. Issues regarding the quality of that game's netcode as well. Oh, for Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. Okay. This was May last year, dude. This is a year-old tweet.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that I do know that there are people who've had bad experiences. I was never one of them. So don't tell me what my history was.
Right. And here's the other thing, too, is, honestly, my experience with Street Fighter V has generally been like 90% positive. Like, I run into bad matches, and they're bad, but they're rare. But I know that game's netcode is dog shit. Like, I am aware of that. You know what I mean? So, like, I get it. And again, this is the hardest part about the internet and computers and stuff like that. It's just your setup here might be doing something. You might have installed something on your PC.
For all you engineers at home, it works on my machine.
Oh, God, yeah. And I mean, honestly, like, this is, like, people who have no background in programming and QA and this kind of stuff. I mean, I know we go off on QA rants on the stream all the time, but, like, literally, it's just, like, the difference of what one machine has over the other, what's installed on it, can make your experience like it's the most smooth, flawless, problem-free thing ever, and then this other person will never be able to get anything to work.
let's talk a little bit about that industry corner. So long time ago, I worked at Activision. I've talked about this before, and I would see the PC testing bays. I'm pretty sure that's actually like the 14th circle of hell. it literally looks like if Cyberdyne actually wrote Dante's Inferno, because you just see a pile of parts in a graveyard. It's awful. And they have to, like, rebuild a computer from scratch, test the game, and then mark whatever abnormalities they find, and then list the entire build. It got so bad that there are now multiple third-party companies that take out contracts for PC testing for you because there's too much work for one team to do.
PC Master Race.
Yeah, literally having a 6-month difference on the release date of your video card from, like this model to this model, 6 months apart, can literally be if you can see this fucking wall.
Yeah, dude, Necromancy Black. So you can have two computers nearly exactly the same setup, but different order of software and hardware installation leads to a different state of drivers and registry. Absolutely, yeah. It is definitely better today. I mean,
it is less bad.
Yeah, less bad.
I hesitate to say better.
Yeah,
I will say less bad.
Yeah, you can tell who has had a life as a QA. when you as soon as you talk to someone who has that QA experience, you're just like. That's, like I said, I mean, like, I don't want to get into the political nature of it, but that's why when people are like, when non-computer people are spouting what blockchain is supposed to be and why it's supposed to be so infallible, like, it drives me nuts, because I was like, you just literally have no idea,
And I mean, that's even assuming that it works as intended.
Right.
Because then it's conceptual,
like,
has its own ramifications.
I think I was telling you the story, right? Like, literally, I used to work at Symantec. We're a security company. We are our company, that was our whole goal. We actually hired a person who was a supreme hacker to come in and talk to us about all this shit, right? And, like, I told you the story that, like, some bank CEO was like, our system is unhackable, like, it's so secure. And they're like, all right, give us like an hour. And the CEO was like, okay. And the guys walked away, and they came back with, like, they created their own account and had the CEO's account transferring all of his money to their account. And they were like, all we have to do is click go. And the CEO was like, okay, what can I do to improve this shit, dude? And, he actually said, I mean, one of the things that stuck in my head the most, you probably remember this because you're probably old. You remember the Badger Snake Flash video, right?
Mushroom.
Yeah, badger. That thing.
Yeah, Weeble.
Yeah, he played that, right? And he was like, this is proof right here that the internet has too much time. And he was like, you give anyone enough time, they will hack your shit. Yeah. And he was just like, this is how it works, dude. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, just for shorthand. Yeah, we're here for it. And pretty sure that means that the balance patch is large.
Yeah.
Just to cover that.
And we don't think it's going to be a terrible thing. In fact, I'm kind of glad because I think it'll be cool to see all the cool shit.
I mean,
especially if it is more bad, because then we won't get the
VRTG
going crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's going to shake things up enough.
Spit on you there. So.
You didn't, but you're good.
Oh, good.
Actually, let's go ahead and pedal it back to that a little bit. I'm kind of totally down. Like, I mean, it's almost unavoidable that the balance patch was going to be playable. It's just kind of how it is. But it's going to be crazy because that really means there's a good chance of fewer Vanessas, Ralphs, Terrys, Gateaus, probably less Elizabeths, probably a few less Marys.
I mean, there could be a character
unless oops.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. There could be a character like, let's say, because people don't complain about Mary as much, that she should be. She ends up being one of the strongest characters. We could be in a situation where we just see a bunch of Marys. But
yeah. Like, as the world's biggest Mary stan, you are all not complaining about her enough. I think she's going to get hit. But I don't think she's probably going to get hit enough, or they're going to hit like the wrong thing.
Yeah,
that's one of my concerns. Yeah. I'm personally, again, I've said it before, I'm really hoping she gets a lateral shift where she gets like 2 things nerfed and then 1 thing buffed.
Yeah, I mean, again,
Rock's fucking stupid. Rock's also an incredible point character.
You know what I hate the most about Rock is just that it's kind of that same problem as Vanessa. What I liked about a character like Andy is that mid-screen, he has different routes than corner, and they don't do as much, and you have different choices. If I have meter and I want the corner carry, then I spend meter into the EX elbow. If I don't want to spend meter, I do into the kick, into the cancel, into the deep. If I'm in the corner for 1 bar, I'm draining like half your life, right? 1 bar total, like Rock is the same fucking combo everywhere, and it does a stupid amount of damage.
Yeah, no, Iori is probably getting buffed. My fear is that he's going to get overbuffed.
Yeah,
It's because he's just shy of good, and we said before, Iori's biggest problem is that Rock exists.
Yeah.
Rock does his job for him.
Yeah.
And so, like, you just give Iori, like, 2 or 3 small buffs, and he's going to be top tier.
Yeah.
And that could be a problem.
And we've also joked about this. In fact, what Necromancy Black even says, Iori has always been top tier.
Or he's always been good.
He's always been good. And so him being average makes him feel really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just okay. He could use a teeny bit of help.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But, I mean, like, because his only really, like, bleh games are like this and 11, and he's still playable in both.
Yeah. So, I mean...
He's not fucking Ramon and Whip, and most people consider Rio.
I mean, I really do hope that, again, actually saying good things about Street Fighter V. Like, this definitive patch has been amazing because even the characters that needed nerfs got a lot of lateral shifts. Like, they're like, okay, we took this away, but we'll give them a couple of cool things here.
I love these because, like, the worst that happens is you stay in the same tier, but you have new options.
Right, exactly.
Which means that, like, you might have one matchup that's less bad. You might have, like, oh, wait, now I can actually use V-Trigger too. You know? That shit is so cool.
Yeah, like Chun-Li was already kind of good. They nerfed some stuff, but then now her V-Skill 2 is like
good,
legit viable now, and it's neat. It's neat.
Yeah. So Leona's a character I do think needs help, but I don't know what she needs.
I mean, why don't we transition over to the other thing that we want?
Yeah, let's bring over the other thing.
Yeah, let's just
because this is a multifaceted conversation. And I'm gonna open the preface with, don't get me wrong, I know, I suck. I am not going to be placing in tournaments.
Right.
But I know what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the root of this conversation.
I mean, again, QA backgrounds. Like, we might not be able to program the shit, but we know what it should be doing.
Yeah, I know what the right answer is. It doesn't mean I can execute it in a match.
Right. And so, just for this is a tier list from Xiaohai. Now, what's interesting about this tier list here is that it's mostly designed kind of with the concept of not like saying how good they are, but almost kind of like a point system thing. Like
it's a ratio tournament.
Yeah, it's a ratio tournament. So this is 22 points.
Yeah, so you are allowed to build a team with 22 points to spend.
Right, and this is how he ranked the characters. So if you put Gato and Ralph on your team, you
cannot have a team.
Right, exactly. So, and in fact, if you put Gato and Vanessa on a team, you can't have a team because no one is 1 point.
Yeah.
So this is actually a really interesting thing, and yeah, there's a couple of surprises on here, and this is why we're going to kind of because look. And if anybody knows what they're talking about, it's Xiao Hai right now, because there's so many like again content vulture stuff. You know, I don't want to like promote them or anything, but there's enough videos of Xiao Hai just doing random select and killing people. I mean, again, you as a person who says Angel needs buffs, right? And everyone's
she fucking sucks.
Everyone's like, what do you mean? Haven't you seen Xiao Hai's Angel?
Yeah, Xiao Hai's playing her. ET's playing her. Deshimo's doing well. Silent just took top 4.
Look where Angel is on Xiao Hai's list, right? Yeah, Xiao Hai does well with Angel. Xiao Hai is kind of good.
I'm pretty sure Xiao Hai could actually beat me blindfolded. All right? Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I didn't see that. What was the result, Urakaren, like of that Xiao Hai versus Japan?
Xiao Hai versus Japan. Yeah, that shit.
It was like Xiao Hai had like 10 Japanese players, so yeah. Dude, like Xiao Hai, he was born with the sacred treasures. I mean, let's just put it that way, right? So I mean, he wrecked everyone, huh? Jesus Christ, dude! Like that guy's ridiculous.
We need the Magatama of Xiao Hai, the little green pearl jet.
Oh
thing.
yeah. That's hilarious. I can't believe. Oh, Factory Worker 1, I used to work in QA. I started my career as a QA, but then I moved over to programming, but I was a QA engineer. So even though I programmed, my goal was to program automation and program QA tools. So I still had to keep the QA mindset while I was
I didn't know you actually started an automation, like in your programming route.
Yeah, no,
that makes sense.
Everything that I did at my company was all automation. So I was QA engineer the entire time. I was never actually a straight up programmer. I was always automation QA engineer the entire. So I started 2 years in QA, and then I switched over to starting to write tools for that, and we created a giant infrastructure of automation, which they then blamed for the bad reviews of our product. So everybody on the team got awards except my automation team of like 4 people. And then they said, we're trashing your whole automation system and writing a whole brand new one.
And it was
that's
worse.
When I left to Nexon.
And I guarantee it was worse.
You know what I told them? I was like, you know what's going to happen is it's going to suck. And all the things that you want in it are going to be in what we have already, because we've already gone through everything that the new one is going to go through. And that it's going to be easier to give our automation system all the features you want than creating a brand new one. They're like, no, we've got this crazy architect design, blah, 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 blah. And I left the company. I did come back eventually. My automation framework that I worked on with 2 other really smart guys who weren't at the company anymore, and nobody was maintaining anymore, literally no one was maintaining, was still running for the legacy team on all the old products, and the new automation system had already been written and scrapped and rewritten and scrapped and kind of sort of rewritten, and eventually after I came back, it was just completely eliminated. Meanwhile, the stuff that we wrote was still running for the other people. Yeah. The whole entire time. So yeah, I was really pissed about that.
It's that same guy who's like in marketing or production who's like, the audience wants this, and that's how we get the original design of Sonic for the live action movie.
Oh god. Oh man. But yeah.
So anyways,
here's basically how he ranks it, right? So Gato and Ralph. Interestingly, in 11, what's interesting to me is that Vanessa wasn't in 11.
Yeah, I'm a little taken aback by that, but I've started to see where Vanessa's holes are. Like, she's dumb as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But the fact that she doesn't have an anti-air game or a way to say get off me without burning meter at all helps keep her from being super duper broken.
Right. Yeah.
But she's still in the top 5, no questions asked.
Yeah.
And the fact is that Ralph, I think for the purposes of a ratio tournament, edges her out just by dumb.
Yeah, dumb and just the ability to dish out damage, because Ralph hurts, dude. He hurts a lot. So, and it might be one of those things too that, you know, these two are excellent anchor characters as well.
I mean, the thing is that they can go anywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
It's part of the other thing. They can kind of go anywhere.
I mean, like this top 7 here. This is the top 7.
It's more or less universal.
Yeah.
I mean, Dolores is fucking dumb, but I don't know if I'd put her above Mai.
Yeah, so what? Well, I mean, to be honest, we don't know if they're ranked within the rows here, right?
The thing is that given some of them, like, we don't know for sure, but if you look at it, it kind of makes sense for most of the rows.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure I'd put Ash above Athena, but,
right,
you know.
So, I mean, the interesting thing is, so, like, the only characters that could potentially jump up here into this top 7 that he doesn't have there, I think, are Rock and Mary. Like, I'm surprised Rock and Mary.
And Joe.
Oh, yeah, and Joe, yes.
I would consider Joe.
Rock, Mary, and...
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised Mary isn't in 9, actually. And same with Rock, actually. I think I'm genuinely surprised both of them. Joe doesn't surprise me because I don't want to say there's a lot of downplaying for him, but he's probably one of the characters who's getting away with the most murder of really good, nobody's complaining.
You got any resources for seeing what neutral is typically like across a variety of games? I mean, I have a video that explains what neutral is, but
I always want to say I misread the name and I thought it was Lazy Juicebox, like it was Juicebox trolling us. So with that in mind, I would say go check out Juicebox.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's one of the things. Whenever I play a new fighting game, I often say I really want to understand the pace of the game. And I know when we were first playing KOF, that was always one of my biggest problems, is I didn't understand the pacing of the game. And that's where that's why I kept asking, how do you stop jump CD, jump CD, jump CD, jump CD? Because I didn't get the pace of the game. And, like, I really wanted to understand it. And it was bothering me. And so, like, honestly, when you learn a fighting game, understanding and learning what the neutral is supposed to look like.
Yeah, KOF is a different animal.
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
So what you want to do is watch a lot of high-level play. So go search for Shanghai KOF 15 matches. Now, you're not going to be able to achieve that, but you know what you're aiming for. Yeah. You know what the goal is.
And also, I'm being by the same token, also watch, like, Renaud.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Look for the strong players, and you'd find a lot of them, and just look up some of their footage. Check out, like, their Twitch.
Right.
I mean, Renaud, unlike Xiaohai, is, like, fully English streaming.
Yeah.
And you can actually ask questions.
I only said Xiaohai as an example, right? Yeah, Renaud is a perfect one to do. Go watch Juicebox's stream. Yeah, Juicebox, he's a great teacher.
Violent Kane.
Yeah,
because he also does events, so you can get a wide variety of gameplay.
Now, the one thing I will say also, go look up Dandy J's videos. We've often talked about it. So look for the KOF Zone video and also the How to Play KOF video, which is mostly using 98, but the game is mostly, like, the neutral is largely, the concept is the same.
Or at very least similar enough.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's one of the things about KOF. Tekken and Street Fighter V are slow compared to KOF. KOF, like, when I watched Xiaohai and I started getting, because, like, obviously one of my big problems playing against you is I would always sit still. And when you watch Xiaohai play, like, he never stops.
Yeah. No, moving. I mean, that's how Corey kills me, is he makes me block one jump CD.
Yeah.
And I'm like, welp. Time to make one smart roll and hope for the best.
Right. And honestly, in King of Fighters, jump CD, like, for example, like, when I first came into KOF, I was like, why would I ever use jump CD?
Because it's not an overhead.
It's not an overhead, and it knocks people down. So if I hit them with it, I don't even get a combo off of this. What's the point? The people who watch my last stream, when I was playing Andy, like, some of the people that I played, I think I made them want to quit because that was literally the only thing I was doing, and I didn't care. Like, honestly, like, that's how important jump CD is to the game. is that's what gives you all your pressure.
Dude, one jump CD is almost like a Marvel assist.
Right.
Like, oh fuck, I'm locked down now.
The amount of block stun it puts in there. So understanding the KOF zone and understanding why short hop CD is so powerful. Because what's going to happen as a Street Fighter player, this is one of my problems, is that after I did jump CD, I would do crouching B. And, like, that sounds like that's a great idea.
But now your pressure is mostly over.
Exactly. It's actually the wrong thing to do. You do jump CD, run. Jump CD, run. Jump CD, run. It hits them, keep running. You will get to them where they quick rise. If they block, you run for half a second and go, oh shit, crouching B, and it's a frame trap because jump CD is so freaking plus on block.
Yeah. Or you can do hop CD, empty hop low.
Oh god, yeah. I started trying to learn how to implement, because in Street Fighter, I never empty jump. It's like one of the things that I don't have.
Yeah, because they're only full jumps.
Yeah.
Empty hops, however.
Dude, empty hops. And with Andy, because down D is that quick fall, it makes me do, it puts it in my head. So jump CD is so powerful because of the block stun.
Yeah, it has monstrous block stun. It is a guaranteed knockdown, which can give you Oki, and they tend to be big.
Yeah.
They tend to either be gigantic or hit an angle that you want to hit at.
Yeah.
Tend to.
And again, obviously, it's going to depend on the character. Some characters have better jump CDs than other. No, dude.
This is perfect.
Lazy Jukebox, we love talking about this shit. And if we can help people learn the game, please derail us. Please derail us. Because I think that this
otherwise
is
we're just going to
really
like
cool.
be ranting about balance and stuff. But like just learning the game, because we've talked about many a time, is that once you can feel out how to play KOF, then you can kind of play whoever you want, more or less.
Exactly.
It's not just like, I'm going to learn Ryu now, and then I'm going to learn Guile.
Right. And see, Kryn, like, I wasn't using it with Kyo. I was using his down B. Down C, because obviously it's a great move, right? But those just don't cause as much block stun.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They did in the old games. That's why people are so scared of them.
Oh,
is that they were basically jump CDs that were overheads. You're like, oh god.
And so the reason why I think Andy is really so a lot of the jump CDs are, so the biggest weakness of the jump CD is that they have a lot of startup, right? And so what happens is that if you're playing KOF neutral, the opponent's going to throw out a move that hits up here and you just hop into it and die, or they jump higher than you. So if your opponent jump short hop CD a lot, you start to learn to regular jump, because then you go above them and their kick goes this way and you kick him in the head and stuff like that. The reason why I think Andy's so good, because his jump CD starts up here and
it's like a sword chop.
It hits, yeah. It's like Dalsum Jump Fierce in Street Fighter V, where it hits here all the way around, and it's really dumb. It's really dumb. And so, dude, that's why when I was playing against this guy online, like, I just did jump CD. He kept trying to jump away. I kick him out of the air. Like, I didn't care.
Like, Shermie's is really good because it's just wall.
Yeah, hers is good because it's the wall. Like, that shit just hits. And so, jump CD, right, and that's the thing, is like, you know, what Kryn says, like, I haven't tried a lot of jump CDs. Now, like I said, there's weaknesses. So obviously, it's not that busted. Otherwise, the game would be stupid, right? But
they're good.
They are the crux of your offense for a lot of characters, right?
And I mean, it's one of those things, like, you have to bear in mind that KOF is designed where you have 5 air normals, sometimes more, and then you have 5 grounded normals from far, and then you still have 4 close normals.
Yeah.
And coming from Street Fighter V, that's foreign. But it's also that KOF tries to be designed in such a way that every single one of those buttons has a use. And like when I first started playing Clark in this game, I was stupid and I was not using jump A enough because I don't want to jump in with a light that's not a cross up. What are you thinking? And then I realized, like, oh god, that angle is incredible. I need to use that button more.
And you know, obviously it'll come with the negatives, is that when you land, a lot of times you'll be negative afterwards, but he's got an invincible throw.
Well, and then you also have so much more control over your jumps. It's easier to hit it late, because you can do shit like late jump CD, late hop jump A, hit just when you're out of block stun or something.
That's another thing too. Remember when I said jump CD and run? Jump CD is another really powerful tool, right? Because the jump CD block stun. So what you want to think of it is that if there's a character standard height here, if you hit with jump CD up here, or if you hit with jump CD at this height of your jump, it presents two completely different situations. For those people listening on the podcast, I'm talking about if CD hits on the head or on the waist, basically.
The depth, how deep the jump in is.
And that's how much you're willing to risk. Because like I said, jump CD has a lot of startup. So if you're willing to hit super deep with your jump CD, what that does is that opens you up to a second jump CD that they have to completely respect. They can't throw out a button to stop you at all if you do jump CD, right?
And not to mention also, King has an instant overhead.
That's right, she has an instant overhead.
By the way, thanks, Barrett.
Yeah, that's why I bowed a little bit earlier.
But yeah, like King short hop away D is an instant overhead.
Right. And if you CD to the top of the head, now you can't get away as much with the short hop. Short hop, someone can throw a jab in between. So if you realize that and you are scared that they're going to hit you, so you do an early jump CD, so you hit them on the head and they block it, that's when you do run, crouching B, because then that'll frame trap them. But then now if the opponent expects that and they don't hit buttons, they let you get away with multiple jump CDs. This is where the mind game comes in.
And it starts turning into a huge layered mix-up you're allowed to do. But you also kind of have to win neutral a little bit to get to the point where you're allowed to be point blank hopping on something.
Yes, exactly.
And so with that in mind, some of that is what influences this ranking right here. How easy can I get up on you, or how easy can I prevent you from doing it to me?
And that was one of the crazy things looking at this list. You know, I've been playing a lot of Isla. A lot of people have been dropping her and putting her like at the low tier.
Yeah, like 5 point range, give or take.
Dude, a CD tier list would actually be kind of fire, actually. We should think about doing something like that.
Okay.
But we're not good enough to probably...
I think that's one where we put out a call to talk to some of the like players who are really good and do it as a panel.
Yeah.
Like we could probably get Ronaldo in. We could probably get Laban in.
Kane, maybe.
Could probably get Kane.
Yeah, it'd actually be really interesting.
Yeah, do it like a panel.
Yeah, because honestly, Jump CD is one of the big cruxes of the game. I didn't realize that coming into the game, I played it like Street Fighter. And like I said, Jump CD knocks down. And when it knocks down, if you don't have a juggle anywhere, you can't even combo off of it unless it's a counter hit. And I was like, huh, FRD. I mean, there was that one video where he was doing the Dulcim kick, which was pretty much that. Remember that video I linked you where Ralph is kicking Iori from like across the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good ass bar.
Yeah, no, Chris CD would be right at the top of... It would be somewhere at the top, if not the best.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that for Chris Jump CD, I definitely would put in as a joke of 98 Chris Jump CD, and then put it at, like, S+++++.
Right, yeah.
And then O2 Billy Jump CD in that tier, or, like, just under it. Because O2 Billy Jump CD can fuck right off.
But see, that's the interesting thing, is that Isla can't play this KOF game at all, right? Now, her Jump CD is replaced by her 6B, and I just felt like that there wasn't enough juice that she had. But Xiao Hai putting her in an 8-point location?
Yeah. Putting her in Mary tier is kind of fucking scary.
Yeah, now, the last time I played her, like, I started feeling a lot better about her. Because, like I said, I just spent a lot of time learning her movement. And I told you the story of my last match. Because, like, every time I stream, like, if I have a really good match, I'm like, I fucking need to stop playing because I need to end on a good note. You know, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, like, we take those? Yes, we take those.
And so, like, I literally fought somebody and he beat me. And then the next game, I OCV'd him with Isla. And then the third game, I OCV'd him with Isla. And I was like, you know what? We're done. Mm-hmm. We're done. And, like, I'm starting to feel where her strengths are coming from. So it's weird. Like, yeah, I think she's not great. And I feel like she needs buff. And then I see Xiao Hai put her up there. And I'm like, you know,
No, you know what?
I couldn't believe it.
Then lateral shift.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's nerf one or two things and then buff one or two things.
Yeah.
And she might jump up to 9 in Xiao Hai's eyes, but that might mean that she'll be up to 7 to everyone else.
All right, I'm 1-0 for tonight. Time to retire undefeated, dude. Whenever I stream,
I think I'm still undefeated in KOF 15 ranked because I don't play it. Dude, I'm like rank 12.
Dude, I will tell you, every time I stream fighting games and I win like the first game, I that thought crosses my mind.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, shit, I'm supposed to keep playing.
Yeah.
Because my problem is I just know how salty I get when I play fighting games, or when I play anything, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, it really is good that you're cognizant of it.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, dude, I tell the story all the time, right? Like, people are always like, oh my god, you get so mad when you play fighting games.
I used to be worse.
Dude, like, I tell the story that, like, the first checkers game I played with my dad. You've heard me tell this story millions of times. I was 3 years old. I don't even understand the concept of winning or losing. And my dad beat me in checkers the first game I ever played, and I got mad and flipped the board. And my dad and my brother looked at each other like, what the hell?
Hey, fuck this game.
Yeah, and like my brother had like fucking black is broken. I mean, because it really kind of is, right? And like my brother and my dad looked at each other like, what the hell? And my brother's had to deal with this his whole entire life, like my temper is legendary when it comes to like competition, which is why I got so good at fighting games, right? But fighting games are oddly enough the thing that made my temper better, because honestly, I was that kid who never lost. I won everything amongst my friends. I was like the best at anything. If it was a board game, a video game, like playing Hex. Remember the little Hex game where you try to make the chain of X's across the little honeycomb thing? And have you never played Hex, like a pencil and paper game?
I would need to see it to have any idea what you're talking about.
Holy crap. And like, I won everything. And so when fighting games started teaching me that I could not win all the time, I actually got better about my temper.
Yeah, because it's also like if you keep being angry, you're less likely to learn and improve because you're getting angry rather than analyzing.
Yeah, for me it was just I can't win all the time. I can't get mad.
Just acceptance.
Yeah. And again, like I'm super emotional kind of person, so I can't help it. Like I have no control over it. Well, Minesweepers are tough because a lot of times you have to guess. There are situations.
I mean, there are, but it's not like it's not that common actually.
Yeah, it's rare, but it'll happen every once in a while. And
no, so out in the field in the army, we would sometimes have like 4 hours of literally nothing to do. So I got really fucking good at Minesweeper.
Yep. Yeah. So honestly, though, like. Fighting. That's why fighting games are hard. That's why streaming fighting games sucks, dude. Really, really hate streaming it because it's so easy to get angry. Oh man.
So
tier list here. I mean, it's interesting because I'm glad he put Iori up here because he's not as bad as people say. And Ash just has the ability to delete you as an anchor, basically.
And thank Christ, Shermie and Clark, same tier.
I'm surprised Andy is this low, but the only reason why I understand this is because Andy, honestly, his biggest weakness is if you can shut down his jump CD, his ground normals are stubby.
Yeah, and it's like you look at everyone above him,
right?
You're like, yeah,
like Robert obviously is like ridiculous, right? Kukri is obviously ridiculous.
Rock, Joe, Mary, and
Chris.
then I think Chris is kind of getting away with murder, so I'm glad Xiaohai said this.
And so when we get to this is probably like the good cutoff point.
Yeah, this is the reasonable characters range. This is when you stop being completely dumb. Though some people would argue Clark.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like I still think that these are very tournament viable characters.
Oh yeah, right.
And then once you get here, these are the characters.
Actually, I think that's kind of more where the color coding is that yellow is the borderline.
Yeah. These are the characters that probably should get a good buff or two.
Yeah.
These are the characters that start needing help down here, probably. So
yeah.
Like,
and then like basically 7 and 6 like actually 7 you can more or less leave alone.
Yeah.
I still think like maybe give Ash a little bit of something, and that's about it.
I mean, I'm gonna be selfish. Please buff Isla a little bit.
8 is the lateral shifts where you nerf 1 or 2 things, but then give them something in return. And then 9, 10, 11, 12 need to be taken down a peg.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I want Mary to get nerfed, but get something in return.
Right.
I think she is a little too strong.
5 is where
she's carrying my ass.
Yeah. That's me when I feel like I play Mai, dude.
Yeah.
Mai is definitely, dude. Oh man. But yeah, this is I mean, yeah, that's it's 3 tiers at the bottom with as less characters than the tier above it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a good
2, 3, and 4 total have 6 characters, and tier 5 has more than that.
Yeah, so
which really goes to show how bad those last 6 characters are.
Which is a sign of how good the balance is. I mean, honestly, which is really and like
because we actually have like almost a good like bell curve.
Right.
Almost.
Yeah, it's not a tier list, Garo, but we're kind of just talking about, as how he's ranking them, basically. So, no, this is a ratio.
Yeah, it's for ratio.
Yeah, it's a ratio.
That's not because it's you're allowed to spend 22 points. It doesn't mean that necessarily more people are using Ash. It's more people are succeeding with him to raise his point value. Sure.
Right. Unless we are misunderstanding this, and this really is just a how much are people using them.
Then I mean, what's the point of the 22?
Right. Exactly. So,
I was very much on the impression that it was a full if you were to do a ratio tournament, you have 22 points to spend.
Exactly.
This is how you can build a team.
I mean, the little
Either
Chinese,
way, it's still valid.
The little Chinese that I know, this says 22 points. I can tell you that much. So. But for sure, these characters could probably use a good buff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hesitating on Rugal.
And it's interesting because Reynold loves Cronin, right?
A lot of people do. A lot of strong players are playing and succeeding with Cronin.
Right, and he's just so boring.
And yeah, I mean, it's not an outright tier list. Yeah. But that's the thing, is for Ash to be that high, that means a lot of people are succeeding with him to make him seem at least more valuable than he usually is.
Right, yeah.
And Xiaohai's Captain 19? That sounds godlike.
That's funny.
Bijane needs help.
Yeah,
Bijane is free the worst DLC character so far.
Benimaru definitely needs help as well. But these 6 down here... I mean,
mostly the bottom 4.
Yeah.
Yuri needs a little bit, because Yuri has problems, but what she's good at, she's great at. But what she's not good at, she just gets steamrolled.
Right. And Shune, I mean, obviously there's some good Shune players out there and stuff like that, but definitely still needs to do more. So, yeah, I think a lot of people would think, and this is, in other tourneys he was forced to use random.
Yeah.
Dude, Xiaohai is ridiculous at this game, dude. And
yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people are getting to the point where we're like, yeah, he's just the best player in the world. We have to hold that. We have to make him struggle.
Yeah,
I'm not planning on beating him, but I'm gonna make him work for it.
I just want him to sweat.
Yeah.
I just want him to have one bead of sweat,
Gods can bleed.
Yeah, basically what everyone's saying is they want to have the Tekken Master moment when he made Sonic Fox take off their hood.
Yeah.
That's basically the chair lean.
Yeah.
They want to make Xiaohai lean forward in the chair.
Yeah, ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Seiru, a lot of people in China are really good at fighting games one-handed because they're too busy smoking while they're playing at the same time. I mean, it's literally, I'm not even making that as a joke. That's just literally the truth.
Yeah, actually, so when I finally went to Japan, I was actually slightly sad that I didn't see more ashtrays on the machines. But on the other hand, I'm glad I didn't have to smell them.
Yeah, no, Japan, so... The first year I went to Japan, when I went to Hey Arcade, I came out of there smelling like a
fucking chimney
ashtray.
Yeah.
And then the next few years I went there, they changed it so that there was a smoking room that you had to smoke in, and it was right next to the ST
and you
machines.
have no idea. Yeah.
And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah. No, I definitely spent a few hours in that smoking lounge.
Yeah,
that place is great.
I mean, what M. Garo says, that maybe, Xiaohai is saying that people aren't using him, and that's kind of where this tier list kind of comes into play. Makes a lot of sense why Yuri and Shune might be down there.
Well, so one of the things is no. I've actually gotten a good handle on it. I've seen it, and then Corey was trying to main Yuri for a while. And it's literally what she's good at, she's great at. What she's not good at, she's dog shit at.
Right, yeah.
And so if you can just not play her game, she can't win.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So actually, I'm actually at the point now where I believe she's there, or at best 5.
Yeah.
She is no better than 5.
Yeah.
But I also kind of think Janae maybe should be in 4. I think Janae sucks.
If what M. Garo is saying is true, that would make sense why Isla's a little bit high there, because she's probably a pretty popular character to be played, right? Because she's fun.
Yeah.
And, I mean, again, I just think aesthetically she's super cool.
Yeah,
you know,
she's pretty rad.
And like I said,
I'm honestly surprised that she wasn't done in the collab in Harajuku.
Oh yeah.
I think a neon Isla would be pretty fucking cool.
That would have been sick.
Except for the fact that that whole thing is 80s styled, and she wouldn't have been born yet.
But I mean, the other thing too is that she's unique, and I think that makes her fun to play.
Yeah, but
unique and doesn't suck like Whip
or Angel.
Because
the thing is, Angel's actually like reasonably popular, and KOF groups who will play technical shit like some parts of Japan and China and stuff. And if even they're putting her at 3,
I mean, look, Sirloin, like honestly, like Sonic Fox is one of the greatest fighting game players of all time, and I think it would take them a while to even get to the point where they might be able to fight Shanghai to that level.
I mean, for them to get to the point of fighting Shanghai on that level, yeah. For them to
kill everybody else?
Like, honestly, if Sonic Fox picked up the game right now, they're top 8 in Evo.
Yeah.
That's probably about how it would
100%.
go. But the one thing is, I will say they would probably have to sacrifice one of the other games they'd be playing in Evo. And I can't imagine them doing that.
I mean, the story that we just all talked about on stream of Shanghai doing the versus Japan and wrecked them all, and it's not like these were schmucks from Japan, right? Like it's just such a different thing, dude. So oh man,
this game's wild, but I'm really fucking hungry for them patch notes. Like
yeah. But I mean, again, I just think that this is a good indication of the balance. Like Rio definitely needs help. He's got some shit in the corner, but as I was saying to you earlier, he can't get anyone to the corner.
At least not without meter.
Yeah, he's really bad at getting people to the corner. Because I remember when I played the beta, it was like, I don't know what to do with this character. I don't think he's that good. And people were like, nah, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. And then the game came out, and it was just like...
Yeah, well, I mean, then there was also... Then you played Robert for 5 minutes. You're like, what's the point of Rio? Dude, look at Robert.
Robert makes Rio disappear, dude.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know it's Golden Week, but they could have scheduled something. And I'm surprised we haven't seen anything scheduled yet, or an announcement of when we're getting the Southtown trailer or patch notes.
Yeah, pretty much. So there was no Tuesday show upbeat because David went downtown to protest. I should have gone as well, but my introverted nature makes it hard for me to leave my home sometimes. And so it just didn't happen. So that was basically what it came down to. So, basically, yep. But again, it's really cool how well this game is balanced right now, I think. And it's fun. And
like the fact that we're just sitting here like, it needs a little help. Instead of like, what the fuck?
And you know,
because there are definitely games where it comes out and you're like, what the fuck?
I always say this too, like, normally you'd be like, oh shit, here comes the balance patch. Like, how are they going to fuck this up, But, like, there's that legit fear because it's happened so often in the past. I'm not saying for SNK games. I'm just saying for fighting games in general. But that's why I was really happy at that Tokyo Game Show talk where Oda was just sitting there like, yeah, lights into max were too strong. We talked to these top players. They told us what was too good. Yeah. We wanted to balance this. So, like...
No, and then, honestly, SNK's track record with balance patching has actually been pretty good.
So, Samurai Showdown was pretty impressive
and
with
honestly,
their balance
most
patching.
Of 14. Like 14, sometimes the biggest problem was we buffed this character who was terrible. and they're still terrible.
Yeah.
Or we nerfed the best character in the game down to the best character in the game.
Yeah.
Like they didn't do it enough, but sometimes that's okay. It's rather to be like feather touch than too heavy handed.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest problem with Samurai Showdown's buff was that Jubei was not the best anymore. So it made me sad. No, Jubei was still good. Yeah. He was fine.
Yeah, cry me a river, then build a bridge and get over it.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. No, SNK's track record with patches has been pretty good. Like I said, the biggest problems they've had, for the most part, there's one or two exceptions, but has been not swinging the hammer enough, like under nerfing or under buffing.
I mean,
and that's a good problem to have, honestly.
Wu Shang still sucks, right? After all these patches.
If I recall correctly, by the last patch, she was like not terrible.
Yeah,
like she's actually fine now.
Right, yeah.
But the thing is that Samurai Showdown in general was just terrified of letting zoners be good.
Yeah.
Just as a general.
Sure. Yeah, and Genjiro got everything he deserved. So yeah, screw that character. That character was way too strong on release.
He was way too strong.
He was way too strong.
But then immediately after that, fucking Shizumaru came out. So
yeah, we were looking at. It's not actually a tier list. It's like a ratio list, and what M. Garu was saying that is it's more like it's
tied to player frequency.
Yeah, and please start playing other characters so we could learn them kind of thing. So
yeah,
but
I mean, I'm still astonished that Antonov's that high for either reason.
Out of 6,
I have no
that high or that low?
That high.
Really?
A lot of people think he sucks. And I mean, personally, I'm happy to see him there.
Right.
I know he has some struggles, but I think he's fine. And having him and Dinosaur on the same tier, I think is fine.
Yeah, okay.
Having Kula that high is a little surprising.
Yeah, but if it is a popularity thing, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because people just love Kula, right? She's kind of waifu status right now, right? So...
Yeah, but yeah, she's definitely not my flavor.
There's 4 KOF tournaments live on Twitch right now. Are they all 15 or are they all different games?
Probably all 15.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be fucking wild if one of them was fucking 98 and one of them,
I mean, again, I want to...
Because there's literally, I think there are 3 locations on the planet that stream KOF 11 at this point. At least 2 different regions.
Oh man. Oh, 1 live, dude. Nice. Yeah. I mean, again, this is a game that I'm really enjoying, and every time I think about playing it, I get kind of excited and I want to play it. Kind of like Strive, but, honestly, Strive suffered because their lobby system was really poorly balanced. I hated they need to add 10 more floors to Strive. Because, honestly, the difference between 10th floor and Celestial was just night and day. I could beat most people on the 10th floor handily, and then I would go to the Celestial, and then I would just get slaughtered, basically. Yeah. And it was hard to get that in-between practice, you know what I mean? I need to fight someone who's good, not like this guy here.
Yeah, I want to fight golds, but not platinums or diamonds, kind of thing.
And then in King of Fighters 15, yes, I'm having the problem because I just get matched up with the same guy over and over and over and over and over again.
And you're just sitting there man, if I wanted to do this, I'd just tell Olaf to come upstairs.
Yeah, seriously, man.
I want to fight one guy for 5 hours.
Seriously, and I'm
and then you can swear into my face.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Like I said, it's a little bit better now because I know what I'm doing. It was just more frustrating because I hate playing fighting games with somebody who knows what they're doing when I don't know what I'm doing, and that's just really kind of annoying. So yeah, right, yeah, it's basically what it is, Corinne, and so it's really annoying. So is that how it goes from rank 30 to champion? I haven't gotten that high yet, so oh man. Yeah, these games need to do a better job with their ranking systems and stuff. So
well, I mean, the thing is that I think part of the idea is that they didn't want to be as long-winded as Street Fighter V wound up, where it took the first player to hit just Warlord, which took 2 years or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, they do a cool thing now, though, at least, is that all the way up until Platinum, a win streak just starts giving
It's a combo multiplier.
you just get like, when I started on PC, I got to platinum real fast because I like had a 15-game win streak, and it just like boom, and just like threw me in there. So. And champion, you got matched against Reynold. Oh god!
And then disintegration. That'll happen.
Yeah. And that's one of the hard things, is that they need to create a little bit more of that diversity. But the problem is, it depends on also how many people are playing online. Because if it's too much that way and there's not enough people playing, because that's going to be always the advantage that Street Fighter V is always going to have, is that its player base is ginormous, right? Yeah. So you can afford to do that. I mean, there was like, people are surprised that if you go on Street Fighter 4, people are still playing online right now. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I mean, given the choice, I know which one I'd rather play.
Sadly, I'd rather play 5 because I can't handle 4 anymore.
I just miss Street Fighter 4 Chun.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I love 4 Chun.
If I played Edition Select and I can get Tiger Knee Cannon Strike back again, maybe I would go back to 4. But I mean, they just made Cammy so boring, and then I never truly picked up a secondary. Like, I tried learning T-Hawk, and then at one point I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna play Bison." Like, who cares? And I never got to the point where I picked up a secondary. So, and Cammy's just really.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you and me get like the Arnold Schwarzenegger meme of like the two hands together. Of Cammy hasn't been fun since 2000.
God, it just makes me so sad, dude. It makes me so sad that Cammy is just like, ugh.
Cammy has not been fun to play in over 20 years.
Yeah. God, I miss Super Turbo Cammy so much, dude.
Dude, I even miss CVS2 Cammy.
Yeah, CVS2 Cammy was hella good, but I mean, honestly, I really do think that Vanilla and Super Cammy was fun. I really do think the Tiger Knee Cannon Strike was really kind of an enjoyable mechanic.
It helped, but the thing is like, it had particular uses, and then like, what was the rest of her?
Right, yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, Marvel 2 Cammy's fun as hell. I'm not sure she's like good, but she's fun as hell.
Yeah. You go from high school to college and get slaughtered, then go from college to NFL and get slaughtered again. Yeah, it's true.
Dude, Elena being in 6 would be weird. Like, because if the trailer gives us anything to go on, that the game has like any sort of realistic aesthetic, she'd be an interesting character to choose.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Huh. I mean, it's still not a character I'd put money on, but that would be an interesting ass choice.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see a lot of those Street Fighter 3 characters. I mean, as much as I don't like Street Fighter 3 character design, I would like to see a lot of them come back because...
I mean, I want to see Remy punch fucking Luke in the face. I'm here for it.
Because, I mean, to be honest with you, like, I've never liked Oro. I've always thought Gil was really stupid. And I think Street Fighter V made them really cool, you know?
My only problem with Gil has always been the body paint thing.
Yeah.
Like, if he just looked like Urian, but had Gil's powers, and maybe, like, his arm would glow with the matching color,
right, yeah.
like, that's it. Sweet.
I mean, the very first time I saw Gil, he was dressed in the Greek robe, and I was like, that's so sick! And then he went, and I was like, what happened? What happened? What happened? Oh, did they mod El Blaze onto Ramon? That's actually kind of cool.
I mean, Dudley's just a good design.
So, Upbeat, guess who my main in Street Fighter 3 is? It's Dudley. Guess why? Because his design is fucking sick, dude. He is, like, one of the coolest. So, like, I actually liked Dudley. I wanted to play Makoto as well because, again, I like it when they're, like... For Street Fighter, I like it when they're fighters.
Yeah.
Because Street Fighter to me is like blood sport, right? KOF, it doesn't need to be that way because KOF is magical. And it's like,
it leans a little more anime.
Right, it leans a little more anime. But for Street Fighter, that's why in Alpha 3 I liked Armika, dude. Like, because, like, yeah, she looked silly, but that's how they dressed for the women's wrestling out there. And it was a thing.
Yeah, honestly, that's one thing that I want out of Street Fighter 6. Is to flush out and let the rest of the world see more of the women's wrestling league that Mika's part of.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I still have got to be one of the only people on the planet who got excited to see Nadeshko because I knew who it was.
Right, yeah.
And so, like, because, you know, we had, Harmageddon, her trainer, in Alpha 3.
Yeah,
and then
that's right.
like that whole league has art and backstory, and like Harmageddon ties into Slam Masters 2, and that's it. Like nobody does anything. I would love to see them flesh that out a little more.
Twins were all right. I just thought they were too edgy. You know, I'm just not a fan of that kind of like thing.
I was definitely the guy who saw Alex. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I liked Alex.
And then like Third Strike came out. I was like, yo, we got fucking Metro Guile. Let's fucking go. He sucks.
Yeah, no, Remy.
I love Remy.
I've never been a fan.
I love Remy because I love Guile archetypes. And I thought he had a lot of cool stuff. And then I was also playing Iori at the time. I was like, yo, he's got fucking the red pants and a leather jacket. And he plays like Guile. Let's fucking go. And he's terrible.
I mean, someone on my Soul Calibur streams turned Maxi into Remy. So he just has a Remy that's just fighting like Maxi. Dude.
Oh, yeah. Mika's totally a face.
Yeah.
Totally a face. Free.
And it was always funny to me because, like, I'm a big fan of Johnny. Right, and Guilty Gear, and he has the Jellyfish Pirates, right? And all of Jellyfish Pirates, what are they all named after?
Months.
And I'm also a big fan of Cammy, and what are all the dolls named after?
Months.
It was just like weird. Like I was like, seem to be a fan of these month-based character names and stuff.
It's always been funny to me that Final Fantasy X, you collected the final weapons and the sigils that were all based on months, but they weren't based on months in Japan.
Oh, they were? Oh, okay.
No, they were. Oh, I'm sorry. No, maybe you have it the other way around. It's that their planets here and they were months in Japan.
Oh, okay.
I think that's actually what it was. It was the other way around. It's like the Jupiter sigil out here.
Right.
But then, yeah, it was like December. I think that was what it was. Yeah, Remy could totally be a KOF character.
I mean, that's what we were all calling him at first. We're like, why is this KOF character in here? So
he plays Johnny.
Johnny is my favorite character, but since he's not there, I play Potemkin. In Exerd, that was a terrible idea. In Strive, it's not a great idea, but it works.
It's passable.
It works. He's suffering from grappler syndrome. The longer the game lives, the worse it gets, right? I mean, that's just the way it works.
Yeah, I mean, what we fucking discussed that during the beta of like, no, he's fine, let it rock. He's just gonna get worse with time. He'll be fine.
Right, and then they nerfed stuff.
And then they nerfed him. You know what though? At least Garuda's still dumb.
At least Garuda.
He got to keep that.
Yeah, I'm glad. And the funny thing too is I didn't think Garuda was gonna be any good because like startup is too long. It's gimmicky thing. No, it's super good. Yeah, but Johnny is my waifu in Guilty Gear basically. So if I could keep playing him, I definitely would. What's up, Hiro-kun?
Oh, Hiro-kun.
How you doing? Oh yeah, I mean the pants are Iori's pants, right?
More or less. I mean that's the problem is you can't have red dickies without just looking like Iori. Yeah. Like you just can't.
Well, to be honest with you, Upbeat, I mean, be thankful that it's Strive and not Exerd, and like if you want intimidating combos, holy crap, dude! Like XX and then is like ridiculous levels,
yeah, like,
and then Exerd is a little bit easier.
It's sorry. Yeah, I was losing how many X's you were using.
Yeah.
Because most of Strive's combos are actually pretty easy once you feel out the character enough.
Yeah.
There are a couple of dust combos that are dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also the harder characters to use like Jacko and Gold Lewis and stuff. And then I will say, Potemkin is still probably the hardest combo character in the game, which is weird because you have to Kara cancel every goddamn thing that he has. Oh god, it's annoying.
Anyway, but yeah, it's just I don't know. So seeing some of the strong players making tier lists more and more, and looking forward to the balance patch and everything, it's kind of vindicating. Just be like, this sucks, this is good, whatever, and then we get reinforced.
Yeah,
because we know, we're pretty smart fellas. Mm-hmm. We know how to like look at these things and see the ramifications, but it's also by the same token is that I also do know pretty well when to shut the fuck up. Because like I said, I think it was last week was the last time I complained about like Angel, is that there are things that I'd love to see her get, but I'm terrified that they might be too good. Right. And that's why they're not on my actual like suggestion list.
Right. Yeah. Jam.
Free.
Jam would actually be really
She'd
cool.
be one of the best characters to convert over.
She would be
100%.
one of the best characters. Because she's one of the only characters that just fights barehanded. Right?
Well, I mean, also, like, the selective installs and, like, the solo parry that's kind of awkward and stuff like that. She'd fit pretty comfortably. My biggest thing,
nerve her quite a bit.
My biggest thing though is also being terrified now with the given engine of letting her have like normal EX moves.
Yeah,
that doesn't go well.
Oh no! So again, Uppy, that's why we were talking about the upcoming patch, and the language from Rick's tweet made it sound like the patch could be pretty significant.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, GRT and VRT are probably going to get nerfed a little.
I don't know.
bit,
The thing is, I think Gato is going to get away with murder just based on his whole design. I don't know how you tone him down without just deleting him.
Yeah.
Vanessa, you can tone her down, and she's probably going to get deleted by mistake. Like, she's, and not even like real deleted, but probably down to like Chizuru tier or something. But like Gato, I don't know how you fix that character. I don't.
He just has too many options, right? He just literally has too many options.
Yeah, do you take away his entire combo engine and just make him do more flat damage so he's like beta soul? Like, what do you do?
What if you made it so that the punch stomp and the kick stomp look different? So you at least you have a half idea which one he's gonna
I don't
do.
think you can slow it down enough to make it that visually reactable.
Okay, gotcha. Because I mean that's one of the problems. He has like 9,000 options.
I mean,
off of these things,
one of the big ones is you're gonna have to tone down his palm super.
Yeah.
Because for its range, it's the fastest attack in the game, except for maybe Andy's climax.
Yeah.
It's one of the only moves that punishes Vanessa's back forward punch on block because it actually has that much range for a 5-frame attack.
Yeah. No, Ralph's kick, I mean, is going to be one of those things that's like probably number one on the chopping block.
The thing is, though, is that I just want it slightly toned down.
I just want it slower. That's it.
I don't even want it slower. I want it smaller.
Oh, right.
Like vertical height. Yeah, just bring it down so like it only kicks you in the waist, but like it can't beat short hops.
You can short hop over it.
Yeah. That's all you do to it.
Do what they did to freaking Isla standing heavy punch essentially.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, but in Mark of the Wolves, he also didn't have the extra 4 sets of demon flips
that he got in 11, right? Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And the thing is that he's not even the best character in Mark of the Wolves, but he's the best character in 11. The character's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Man. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a problem, and he just has too many fucking options. Yeah, I mean, maybe slow down Ralph's kick by a frame or two, but really more than anything, it's the hitbox. I think his DP needs less pushback so that people can actually punish it on block. The ground punch explosion.
I'm also not sure that the invincible version should allow you to juggle off of it when you anti-air people really high up. So,
if it's really high up, it's fine.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that high up is my point, right? So, I mean, you got an anti-air, and then you get to combo into climaxes and shit.
Lower its juggle height on knockdown, so that they have to be like the peak or hit meaty in order for you to continue.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then less pushback on block.
So it's easier to punish, right? Yeah.
And then I would tone down the juggle of his little like turnaround punch because he gets way too much out of a quick max.
Yeah, he gets punchy. But I mean, there was one video I saw where he's just like he did a normal that was a knockdown on a hit, and he canceled, and he was just like punchy, and that was it.
Yeah.
So.
That being said, one thing I will say is that you nerf all this shit on Ralph. And then you buff Galactica Phantom so it fucking matters.
Which one's Galactica Phantom again?
His one punch super.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just basically useless, right?
Yeah, it used to be if you fully charge it, it's unblockable, and it did a ton of damage on hit and counter.
Right, yeah.
And now it's worthless and it's blockable. And the only thing it got is it's the only super in the game that actually does guard crush damage.
Right, yeah.
And it's not even like that good at it. You know, give Phantom something. It deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, again, if I had to buff anything on Isla, I would just make it so her 6B couldn't be low profile. Like, I would just make it so it hits all.
I've told you this before. I'm scared that might be oppressive.
But I mean, it doesn't change much for like 90% of the matches, though, right? So
There's a little bit more low profile than you might think there is.
maybe I'll have to check to see. 'Cause, I mean, I just think like, why does Gato get to 2D under it? Like, why does he get to fucking go under it with his 2D? His 2D doesn't even look like it's a low profile move.
Because my guess is that Gato is based on a real human being, and for the likeness rights, he had it in his contract that the character had to be fucking good.
He's got the Vin Diesel contract?
Yeah.
He's not allowed to lose a fight in the movie?
Yeah, that's why he has the fucking 3 scratches on his back, because Gato's fucking cool.
Is he actually based on a real person?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was just the only joke, because there has to be some explanation of why Gato's never allowed to suck. Fuck that character. The problem is I still do like him, but fuck this. Too much PTSD from every game he's in. Bless you a lot.
Excuse me. Oh, man. Whew. What did
I do?
What is Wooly a fan of, or Reggie a fan of?
Or just talking about some of these potential nerfs or something.
Or they hate Gato, or they love Gato, or something like that. So,
I know that makes a lot more sense that he's based on a character from Baki. Yeah.
If someone high up at SNK just really, really likes Gato, I mean, that's why Virgil and Dante are so good.
But the thing is that Gato's been around for fucking 20 years. Mm-hmm. So that means that someone who still likes him, that helped to develop him, there's only like 3 people in the cast, in like the entire office who could be that.
Right. Was Gato in 2003?
Yeah.
He was? Okay.
Yep. That was his intro into KOF.
Was he any good?
He's okay. The problem is that like KOF 2003's overall balance is super jank,
right?
And like Dualon's kind of broken, so he throws off the curve.
Okay, got it.
Dude, let Galactica Phantom be good.
Oh man,
let Galactica Phantom be good again. I mean, let Ralph be fun again. Whatever.
Oh, you're talking about not Shizumaru, Hokutomaru, yeah.
The ninja kid?
Yeah, who's supposed to be Andy's student.
Andy's disciple, yes.
Yeah, Andy's disciple.
Hokutomaru.
Yeah, Hokutomaru. Director of KOF is the director of Fatal Fury and Garu series.
Well, Fatal Fury is Garu.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's not necessarily true. Just for, like, the overall tier, like, power thing.
Kushnud butt.
I'm so glad they call him Marco in the West now.
Yeah.
That's, like, honestly, if the rest of the game was, like, problematic, like, in terms of, like, oh, this isn't good, this is dumb, whatever, but they kept, like, no, we're just gonna call him Marco now. Still coming out net positive.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you. Oh, man.
A lot of people want Hotaru, and I just don't get it.
I mean, freaking, the main character in Final Fantasy V was Butts. That's how he was translated, like, badly. And then they had to change him to Bartz just to not make it as bad anymore. So,
Batsu.
Yeah, Batsu.
Because, we're not allowed to actually have the name Batsu back then. But then we get rival schools.
Wait, what was wrong with Batsu before?
Because during that time, we weren't even allowed to have basically Japanese names. Everything had to be localized.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Fucking let him be called Batsu. Yeah. Not a big deal. Nope.
Okay, I thought there was like that name in particular.
No, but then just a few short years later, we get rival schools with the pro tags Batsu. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly, right. And Akira, right? Mm-hmm. It's just you just named him that, and it's fine.
Anyway. I think it's about that time.
Sure.
I think I've ranted enough, and I don't have too much more to say. So, I think it's music time.
Music time. What do you want to play?
Let's see.
Didn't you say last week there was something that you specifically wanted to play, or
I think I put it on last week,
or maybe it was if we have the trailer for Southtown, you knew.
Yeah, we had the trailer, but we don't.
What do you guys say in the chat?
Yeah, let's get some music suggestions.
Get some music suggestions. Something that we haven't done before. Obviously, it's hard if you haven't seen all of our episodes here. Yeah. So.
I mean, we could do the Outlaw team from 2003 and just leave on Gato in 2003's team.
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be the 2003 Outlaw team.
2003 Outlaw team. This one here?
Villainous, the next one down. Use the OST one there, yeah.
Okay.
I don't even remember which song this is, actually. Like, I don't even hate this soundtrack. I think it's a little underrated, but I really don't remember which one's which. That's the one.
Okay. So this is... Oh, Gato, Billy Kane, and Yamazaki were on the same... So is Gato supposed to be a villain then?
Kind of.
Okay.
He's kind of like anti-hero, means to an end, but he's also kind of a total asshole.
Okay, because he always seemed like one of those like pro-taggy kind of guys, you know?
Yeah, he's an edgelord. He's kind of a dick, but it's like the reason he's a dick isn't actually wrong. But I would never say he's a good guy.
Okay. Fair enough. There you go.
Also, I mean, you know, KOF 11, he's a war criminal, so...
Is he?
I mean, look at the tier list.
Oh.
He's committing war crimes in that fucking...
Gotcha.
Yeah, see? Dumb kid.
Yeah.
Good old DK unit. Like, Gato isn't evil, he's just a dick.
Right.
Yeah.
He keeps dodging his sister? What's the storyline?
So, Hotaru in Mark of the Wolves is his little sister. And she's trying to, like, bring brother home. He keeps dodging her and getting away from her because he's trying to murder his own father because the whole family hates him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't talk about leaks, so
none of that.
Yeah, we will be done for the day. All right, peace out, guys.